so we can get into it real quick. Tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got to being at BAM now, and all the crazy business you do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So who I am, where do you want me to start with that? From the beginning or?
Yeah. What makes you Byron Lazine? Let's go there.
Oh, man. What makes me the guy I am today is a willingness to always be a learner, right? Getting better every single day, always improving. It's what I didn't do at the beginning of my real estate journey. I gotta get my education right. I've got to focus and invest in that. Number two, I got to get around the right people. Like what we did in December, man. I've been doing that kind of stuff now for 10 years.
Wow.
Being in, a coaching ecosystem like the Tom Ferry ecosystem, traveling and going into people's different markets and doing masterminds like we did in Dallas, like that you were referring to, all that kind of stuff. Like, get around the right people, build your organization with the right people, let go of the people that are holding you back, let go of average and ordinary thinkers, whether they're your cousin, your best friend, whatever, man. I only got 365 days this year. I only have 24 hours. Everybody's got the same amount of time. I got to use it to my advantage and not waste any of it if I really want to do something significant.
Thank you for sharing that. Cause I think like a lot of agents, like we get on this level where we're an individual agent and we want to grow, but we don't really know how to grow. And I think that's what's great about like Tom Ferry coaching. What's great about kind of the ecosystem where we have agents that give back to agents to kind of show like, hey, you can grow a business and do this. And what I find impressive is you have, you're doing 1,000 deals and you're not even in that state full time where you're doing these deals. That was just that blew my mind, because there's a lot of agents moving to Austin and they're like, hey, how do I keep my business going in California? How do I keep my business growing here or there? But I'm going to be in Austin growing a team here. So I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people in that regard. All right. So let me ask you this. This is where really why I wanted to bring you on here. Your content's very good in that regard. And you're talking about the topics. And you mentioned something about a shift the other day, and then you're talking about Real Broker, and we chatted back and forth.
That's right.
We are in a time in the Austin market, and I know a lot of markets, where we get to this time of the year and a lot of agents start to freak out. And then by the time we hit November, the market does what it does, and we're back to like a crazy market again. This time I think is a little bit different. And this is why I want to talk about the shift and if you want to stay in this business long-term, what are the things that we should be doing now as agents to lock that in so we do have sustainability, because I do see things changing. I don't think they're going to be as bad as 2008. I don't think they're going to be as bad as some people are saying.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, we'll break it down. There's a lot there, right? You're referring to the clip I put out, referencing Tamir, who's the CEO of your brokerage, Real, where he says, hey, I think there's going to be over the next, I think it was 5 years, 400,000 to 500,000 agents shift away from, what he would consider traditional brokerage over to maybe something like a Real that's,
right.
More of a cloud atmosphere, or what you would say, maybe a side, right? Who's partnering with them, side's a company where they're more of like, service, real estate brokerage by a service, like almost a SaaS product, for brokeraging. Anyways, what you're talking about here in the near term, just look at today, right? Bitcoin's down to under 23,000 a coin, which people were like, when it was at 60 something thousand earlier in the year or the end of last year, whatever, like, hey, it's going to go to 1 million. Like, you better get on now. You can look at the stock market. Amazon's valuation is cut in half basically from the high point within the last year. That's crazy. It's insane to think about that a company like that would have dropped that much. You can look at the Zillow stock, you look at the entire stock market, and you can look at the fact that there's been over 13 real estate related, mortgage related companies that have already laid off, big names too, Wells Fargo being one of them, in the last, few months. You can see that interest rates are going up
6% today.
6% today. They're right? That's crazy. Who would have thought 6% this year? At the beginning of the year, I remember December, like it's going to get to 4.5. Yep. If we touch 5 for a little bit, no big deal. Now we're at 6, right? And we're normalizing 6. You are seeing price reductions for the first time. You are seeing, and you'll hear a lot of agents say, Byron, oh, you're fear mongering. No. I'll just be first to say it.
Right.
This market's changing. The market's changed. The stats that we're all paying attention to are just reflective of March.
Right.
Inflation keeps driving a market that's going to be different in Q4 of this year than it was in Q1.
100%.
And listen, Google's down 30% on search terms for people buying or transacting in real estate. Google search is down 30% from January 1 in comparison to last year. Zillow's leads are down, although they don't want to admit it. Realtor.com and Redfin are admitting it.
Yep.
Their traffic is down. There are less home shoppers in the market that aren't an institutional buyer, right?
100% agree.
Less home shoppers. It just is what it is. It's gotten more expensive. So if you're going to survive that shift, which the great agents are, I talk to agents all the time that have been in the business 30, 35 years. They're like, Byron, I sold homes in a great market. I sold homes in a bad market. I stayed in the business during the great financial crisis while other agents were running out and selling insurance and finding a day job. I stayed in it because I'm a great agent, because I control inventory. How do you control inventory? You have the listings. How do you have the listings? You have the best brand in your market, period, end of story, right? So you've got to build up the brand. Do I think you should ignore that 70% of home shoppers are on Zillow and you should ignore that lead pillar? No, I think you should get to a place where you have 10 plus lead pillars. But if you really want to make it through this, you're going to be the agent that has your name out there on multiple listings, that when people are going to interview for the sale of their home, they're thinking about you and your team. Right. I got to have them in the door with 3 other people. The interview process is going up to 3 agents again. During COVID, It was, hey, first agent with a heartbeat, we're going to put your sign in the ground because I don't want to talk to many agents. I don't want that many agents in my house. Now there's going to be, an interview process of 3. So you've got to invest in your brand. You've been hearing it from Gary Vee and the like for 10 years. Okay, build out social, build out social. If you don't do it this time, you won't come out of this changing market. I won't even call it a bad market. There's not a cliff. I agree with you. You won't come out on the other side having grown your business through a changing market, having taken more market share. I'm looking forward to the change because more agents are going to flock to safety. We're talking about the team now in Connecticut. More agents are going to have to flock to safety. More people are going to want to be, around the experts, around the people that can really bring them through the process. We're going to get more market share during this changing market while others are going to go get a day job.
Why I knew the market was shifting is all of a sudden, a lot of agents were actually starting to reach out to me and ask me about Real, where people were asking me, once a week, somebody would send me a message like, hey, tell me about this Real thing. And now consistently per day, I have more agents reaching out to me. Now this is not at any way a sales pitch for Real. I don't want it to do that. That's not what this channel is about, but that's what started making me go, oh, okay, what's going on here? And then by the end of May, all of a sudden in Austin, we went from about 3,000 units. Now we're at 6,600 units. We've doubled in basically 3 weeks. So we have doubled the inventory. And then all of a sudden, all my listings that I was doing the normal things on, no one was walking through the door. Now, I've done videos for all my listings. I know most agents will do walkthrough videos. And this is why I wanted to come on here and talk to you about what we should be doing as agents, because so for the first time in a long time, I sent out mailers again. I've called agents about my listing. I've had to go through the steps on these listings where I didn't have to do them for the last 2 years. And I think that's where, I got complacent. So if I'm going to point the finger at agents and say they got lazy, I got lazy as well. I know I tried to continue to do video content around my listings and things like that, but it's kind of hard to spend the extra money when everything goes like that. And Brad McCallum said it the best. In an interview with him one time, he said that, look, you should be doing real estate videos now, because when the market shifts in 3-4 years, you're going to have longevity in the business. He didn't say it that eloquently, but he did a very good job saying that. Thanks for watching this episode of Agent Content Creators. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you like this content. Hit the like button as well. Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, share this video with a friend. Watch one of these. We'll catch you in the next video.